right, now let's get to our conversation where we're talking about digital transformations in insurance, digital insurance, and we're joined by Kange McDonald, who is the MD for medical insurance at CIC. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kelvin. How are you doing?
All right, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Yes. So let's look at insurance,
yes,
the digital transformation, because every sector is kind of moving towards the digital platforms. Everyone wants to be digital these days. So when you look at how this has transformed the particular insurance industry, from where you sit, how has it been and what has been the progress so far?
Thank you, Kevin. I think, and you're right, every sector has tried to move towards the digital space. Mm-hmm. Because when you look at it, what is the businessman or the insurance or the media house trying to do? They're trying to connect a customer to a product. In between that connection is a process. And once that process is addressed, then you are able to have a customer who is happier. And not just the customer, even the supplier, whoever it might be, yes, could be the insurance. And when you look at the insurance space, for example, it's been a space that is known for a lot of papers. You would know the famous small print. And so that paper is in the process, in between the customer and the insurance. And so the steps that we are seeing is where digitization is now connecting the customer to the insurance through a more seamless process. Mm-hmm. For example, where you don't have to fill all manner of forms, mm-hmm, where you can upload your documents if need be. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, even for the convenience. I think digitization, not just in insurance, but in every sector, ends up with a happier customer and a happier supplier.
All right.
My customer is getting the product faster, mm-hmm, and I'm even using less cost to service this particular customer.
All right, and now in making also the customer happy, I believe it's the ease at which they can do it.
Yes.
But now let us also look at this other side of when now we are transitioning into digital platforms.
Yes.
We are transitioning into these platforms that are fairly new to, mm-hmm, some people. When it comes to data protection, because we've spoken about data and our story earlier on when we were looking at how banks are trying to make sure that they are safeguarding the data of their customers. Mm-hmm. So therefore, when it comes to insurance and how the digital platforms are collecting information from people, at the end of the day, how is someone convinced that their data is safe with a particular insurer?
That's a good question, because you can imagine of data protection as something that comes in for the good of the both. Think of light, which is an innovation. Mm-hmm. We want to have light, but you also don't want to not have the ability to switch off the light when you want to go to sleep. And so data protection ensures, yes, I need your services, but I need to have some safeguards. I don't have to get adverts that I don't want, mm-hmm, or that are not relevant to me. And that's where technology comes in, to ensure that the systems that we deploy, yes, are so watertight that you will not meet your policy document, insurance policy document, just on any site, that it is secure and that it will not be used for anything. I'll give you an example. We recently launched an Easy Beamer product, mm-hmm, which is purely digital. And it took us 2 years to develop the technology that is going to enable clients to receive this service at CIC. And the big focus is to just ensure that we meet the expectations of data privacy. We meet the expectations of our ability to even scale this up if need be. And we meet the expectation of how easy it is. I'll give you an example. Today I was somewhere where I needed to pay parking at the exit. I got into my car, I remembered I had not paid, dialed a number, some USSD code, paid, and exited without having to go to a machine. Mm-hmm. And that's the expectation the client has, that I will leave my house, remember my insurance expires in the evening, get online, by the time I get to where I am driving safely, mm-hmm, then I have my insurance certificate.
All right.
Yeah.
And now, let's also look at some of the challenges, especially when it comes to trying to put trying to fix this together, because insurance, the way you said, it used to be a lot of papers.
Yes.
And now we are getting into a rather easy system of doing things. So therefore, when you look at how this has been embraced, the challenges in making sure that at least this works. And because when you're introducing something new, of course, there are really, really gaps that usually are not even filled very easily.
Yes.
So therefore, how are the gaps in this being filled? Because it's something that is being embraced. It's not really fully 100% at the end of the day. So how is this going to be filled in order for at least everyone to get into it?
I think one word, awareness. Let's look at where we are as a country. We are a country, Kenya is a country that has made significant steps. We actually believe a text message is a confirmation that we have money. That's technology. I think this is something you can present in another country and people might not pick it as believe that you have money. Let's look at how even our mobile apps that we use, it's something that we have embraced. And so while in the past we have seen a scenario where I would believe that I cannot buy insurance until I'm inside a branch or inside a head office or talking to someone, I think we have made some significant steps as a country. And so what we plan to do is continuously create awareness. For example, we at CSC, we have several platforms that we use, like mobile apps, if our members want to even check how their benefits. Now Easy Bima, which we think is very revolutionary, because Kelvin, you might not believe it, but there is a time you had to drive to go and get an insurance sticker, the one on the car. Then we made progress through the Aki Association, where now this was in a shared platform that you can pull out the certificate digitally. And now you've gone, but to do that, you still needed the insurance company to do it for you as a client now, or at least a broker. But now, you as Kelvin, seated here, by the fact that digitization enables you to just go online, you can actually get that sticker there. And that's a step. And you would believe it is a sticker, because let's also go back to where we were. What are the other safeguards that we have? There's a mechanism for checking whether a sticker is valid. Because in the past, you could have many cars with stickers that are not valid. But now there's a mechanism. You can dial a USSD and confirm whether it's valid or not. And so those aspects help the industry to make significant steps, including in combating fraud, which has been a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, even as you say talk about fraud.
Yep.
And when you look at invalid stickers, when you look at how to verify this is a valid sticker on a car, going forward, because I believe as technology improves and as digital platforms come, people find ways of making sure they surpass whatever is currently there.
Yeah.
Or they find smarter ways, in quotes, of how they can do that. So at the end of the day, going forward, when we look at the innovations that are coming, how can someone safeguard themselves from fraud? Because at the end of the day, these stickers will continue coming, because as we can see, some other companies who usually have stickers, there's a way of verifying and making sure that this is a valid sticker, this is not a valid sticker. So speak to Kenyans and just convincing Kenyans that this is how this is supposed to be done. How do we do that?
There are steps that have helped to close the gap, because when the fraud-led people exploit a particular gap. Let me give you a more realistic example. Forget even the fake stickers. A few years ago, it was possible to insure one car 4 times, such that when it is stolen, then you are compensated 4 times. But that's not how insurance should work. Insurance A compensates you, B compensates you. That's fraud. But thanks to technology, you cannot insure one car twice. If today you try to buy insurance for a car that has an existing sticker, for example, the system will tell you this car has an insurance in this particular place. And so, and not just for insurance, Remember, the government is also doing a number of things around digitization. The interconnectedness we are seeing in the digital space from the government, from the consumers, from the suppliers, is going to help close these loops that front-led people have been exploiting.
Yes.
And so it is going, for example, to be impossible. I believe with time, because even now, for example, the policemen are enabled. If a policeman wants to actually check whether your car is insured and the insurance is valid, they can actually do it. Mm-hmm. It's just to, as I said, the awareness that people can be able to do this. But the solution to this fraud is ensuring the small gaps. And through the regulator, our regulator for insurance, IRA, through AKI, the Association of Kenya Insurers, we've seen significant steps that are helping the industry to move from a place where people are milking it or using it to just make fraudulent money to an industry which you can say there are significant steps and significant safeguards against fraud now.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at AI.
Yeah.
Of course, AI these days is spoken almost in every platform. It's getting into almost every industry.
Yeah.
And now, AI-powered claims it's one of the many innovations coming with this digital transformation of insurance. So how does it work? And at the end of the day, what does this mean when it comes to making work easy for insurance?
AI is one of the faster emerging issues, aspect in digitization that we are seeing. The use of, let's say, robotics, but just the use of technology to solve things that have a clear process and provide more information. AI is going to transform not just insurance, but how we all do our business. Remember the big data. When you combine big data and artificial intelligence, probably in Kenya we could have maybe 2 million cars, for example. Think of when the industry, for example, deploys AI at the AKI level or at the IRA level, and by the click of a button I can see Kelvin's car, how many accidents, how you drive and all that. And so it is going to play a significant role.
Oh, okay. All right. Need to interrupt. You can't get there. We're going to now go live